gorgeous pink Christmas nails. Ah, so cute. Hi, everyone. Okay, so we're going to do a set of Christmas nails in pink, silver, and white. We're using the Beetles nail gel. I absolutely love these colors. The silver is such amazing coverage. This shimmer pink is super cute. It's kind of got a red tone to it. And then the Barbie pink pinky is awesome also. How are you tonight? Tell me down below what you're doing tonight while you're watching this video, and tell me, are you a nail tech pro? Are you a do-it-yourselfer, DIY at home? Let me know. And I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with these nails. Okay, so this is the ring finger, and what I've done is I've taken just a line of each of the colors, and except for the silver, and I placed them on my tile, and now I'm just kind of rubbing them all in together. I'm picking up a scoop of all three colors, and then I'm rubbing them all in, and this makes like this abstract kind of artsy swirl, which is awesome. And then the parts that I don't touch, of course, are leaving the silver glitter from the background, and it just ends up being such a fun little abstract swirl. Very cool. While I was doing these nails, I was actually watching David Lynch, The Art of Life. If you've never seen that before, oh my gosh, it's so inspiring. Definitely go watch that. Okay, so now this is the middle nail, and it is white, and I don't know why I did this, but after I had done 3 coats of this white, it's kind of like an off-white, I took the shine off after I had cured all 3 of the coats. So you do 1 coat, and then you cure it for 30 seconds, and then second coat, and then you cure it for another 30 seconds, and then the third coat, and you cure it. And when I pulled it out, I don't know, maybe I was just like on autopilot or something, but yeah, I swiped off all of the sticky. You definitely do not have to do that. I don't think it matters either way, but yeah, I just, for whatever reason, I took off the sticky, and then I started doing the nail design. So what I'm doing is I'm putting little red glitter dots on the bottom, and just fun. I'm definitely a dots lover. I love dots. I could probably wear polka dots every single day. Yeah. I don't know why I don't. I probably should. That would make me super happy every single day. Anyways, so yeah, and then I cured that one, and now I'm moving on to the, what is this? Is this the middle finger? I think this might be, or it's the pointer finger. And once again, I'm going in with some white dots, but these dots are actually going to turn into a different design. First I have to cover the nail with dots, and of course I put quite a few on. I could use my daughter. About halfway through these dots, I was thinking, why didn't I just turn, like there's a daughter on the flip side of this nail art brush, so I could have easily just flipped it over and dotted it. It's much quicker that way, but I did know that I was going to be using the brush handle or the brush end to make this little string. And then of course I was going to pull some of these dots into stars. So that's what I'm doing now. And yeah, you just, pull out one edge and then another edge on this other opposite side to make it nice and even, and then you can work the other 2 edges and just make it like a little star. And it's so simple to do this, and amongst the polka dots it just looks like, I don't know, it's just so cute. I love it. See, I'm a polka dot lover. Are you a polka dot lover like me? I hope you are. Because there's lots of polka dots in this design and a lot in all of my designs really, but maybe not all of them. But so far, I have just started this channel. I'm having so much fun putting my designs on YouTube. My backstory is that, well, first of all, my name is Laura Rolling. If you've never heard of me, hello. Please introduce yourself in the comments. And I am a longtime manicurist. I've been a licensed manicurist for 20 years. I first started doing nails in Las Vegas, and well, actually, I started in California, and then we very quickly moved to Las Vegas, and that's where I got licensed to do nails. And did it there for a while, and boy, that was fun. I have some serious stories I could tell you about Vegas nails, but um, and then we moved to Texas, and I did nails in Texas for about 7 years. Okay, I'll tell you my first story. So in Vegas, I actually was working at, I was very lucky to get into a very high-end spa. I was not very, I was new. I was pretty new to doing nails, and I was um, talking with this one hairstylist who was going in for an interview to this very high-end spa, and just kind of as a joke, as I was wishing him well and hoping that his interview went well and everything, I said, hey, put a good word in for me. So he came back after his interview and he said, hey, yeah, it went really well, and he said, and by the way, I put in a good word for you and they want to interview you. And I was like, what? Because I was pretty brand new. And yeah, you just don't hear of that, especially in Vegas salons, because, this was not, this was a very high-end, posh salon. So I was doing nails there, and I, I just was, first of all, more I was less confident than I actually exuded. And that's one thing that I have learned, and that's like a life lesson, that confidence is everything when it comes to nails. When you are just starting anything, not just nails, really, if you are just starting anything, if you exude confidence, people will have more confidence in you and they won't question your work. And that's one thing that you find a lot in the nail industry is that, if you get a new client, they sit down and they don't know you. So all they really have to go off of is how they perceive you. And believe it or not, if you are more confident than anything, you will win them over. I can't tell you how many times I was like, oh my gosh, I've never done this before. She's asking me to do something I've never done before. And I just, for whatever reason, would put on like a strong, knowledgeable front and, just kind of wing it and hope for the best. And my retention rate was so well. But anyway, so I was only in Vegas salons and kind of building my clientele for about 4 years, and then we ended up moving to Texas. And in Vegas, nails were all very, very, very flashy. My clientele, believe it or not, even my teachers, I had a clientele full of teachers. You'll find this too if you do nails. You end up having like a groups of people because they refer their friends. So it just started with one teacher, and I ended up having a whole bunch of teachers. And but I also had dancers. In Vegas we call them dancers. So I had a lot of high expectations, I guess, because dancers, their nails are part of their costume, basically. So there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of nail art going on. And so I was able to create and let my creativity flow when it came to Vegas nails. So, um, but I only did that for 4 years, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But we ended up moving to Texas, and I kind of expected to get into the same type of nail art. So I moved to Texas and I opened up my own mini salon. I rented out a salon suite, right? And the salon suite, um, I just started building my clientele, but it was much different. People really just wanted to do either pink and white acrylic or gel was just starting to hit the industry. And so I went and got certified in OPI gel. You'll see a lot of OPI in my I have a lot of OPI because that's basically who trained me. I took all of the OPI classes. Well, when gel first came out, I took an OPI class for gel, and so I converted all of my acrylic pink and whites to gel at the time, and I was just yearning to do designs, to go back to my roots basically, and do all these abstract, fun, creative, glitzy, sometimes just over the top nails. And yet the clientele in Texas was much different. They didn't want to have anything to do with that. It really was very pretty nail styles, nail designs. And so I kind of had to like cool my jets when it came to that, which was funny. But I do have a couple of friends, I call them friends now, that started out as clients that would let me create with them. And it was just so fun to be able to like bring that to Texas. But yeah, all these little extras that now the nail industry has changed, and I think it's now very worldwide, where things like this type of abstract art really is embraced. And I just love that it is, because you're watching this video and you're watching this abstract art, which is just basically colors swirled together on a nail, and hopefully you're enjoying it. So my well-rounded story, right? So that's a little glimpse into my past. Tell me about you. Are you a nail pro? Are you a DIY? Tell me what your passion is when it comes to nails. Do you just like watching videos about nails? Did you just simply run into it and love the colors in this video and that's why you're watching? Let me know down below. And while you're at it, of course, like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more videos. I am pretty new to YouTube, so yeah, I definitely need to gain some followers, and yeah, I'll probably do more technical instead of introductory discussions during my nails. While I'm showing you what I'm doing, but yeah, this one's probably just a little a little different than what most of the videos are going to be. I'll explain what I'm doing now, and I'll probably get better at the explaining part too. So bear with me, subscribe, and hang out with me, and we will go through all of these designs together. I just love, love, love doing nails, so I just foresee having many, many more videos to come. Okay, so right now what we're doing is we're adding bling, and this kind of goes to my background. It used to be that I would put bling on almost everything. And I mean almost everything, but those were in my Vegas days, and of course Texas tamed me a little bit. So yeah, now that I'm back to doing designs just from home, basically in my craft room, sitting at my nail table. I do have a professional nail table that we're working on right now, and so that's kind of where I'm at. I like to add bling. So I have run into this company that is called Beetles, and it has the most amazing product at a fantastic price. And I even have a code that I can share with you. I'm going to put it up right here, and that way you can use it. If you see any of these products, go ahead and go to Beetle beetlesgel.com and put in my code, and that way you save some money. This is a code that will last, I think, through November 2022. If you're watching this video in the future, I'm sure that I have other codes, so make sure to subscribe. That way you can see all of the newest videos that I put out, and then you can find the codes that I put out for this company. It will be listed down below in the description, and yeah, I'll try to keep them up to date as far as the newest videos. So yeah, definitely hit that bell button so you get notified when I put up new videos, and let's build this community. It'll be super fun. So yeah, I used the rhinestone gel, which, you know, you just kind of put it anywhere where you think you're going to put the rhinestones. And because it's gel, it doesn't dry. It's not like using nail glue that'll dry, you know, it's an air dry. So the rhinestone gel is just like your regular gel. It won't dry until you cure it. So it gives you plenty of time to place your crystals and any rhinestones and basically any nail art. If you wanted to add stickers or whatever, it's just a great way to give yourself the time to place it exactly where you want it. But you do want to be careful. You don't want to put gel like all over the nail. You wouldn't want to put the rhinestone gel all over the nail, because it will end up being, you know, shiny in the areas that you don't use. So try to only place that gel exactly where you want to use, where you want to place the rhinestones. And yeah, and if you have any spillage out the side, you can always use like little teeny caviar beads. I don't actually use them in this video at all, but yeah, you can always fill in the little spots that aren't used. That way when you cure it, it doesn't look like you still had gel there, you know, because you can see the difference in the shiny, or you can see a rise where the gel is. So yeah, be careful where you put that gel, and then make sure that the rhinestones cover it completely. Even if you have to use little caviar rhinestones to fill in the little spaces in between the bigger rhinestones. Yeah, so this one, what I'm basically doing with this entire set is I'm making Christmas baubles. Um, Baubles have a really cool history. Did you know that baubles come from, oh, what is it? Okay, wait, I wrote it down, so I'm gonna read it to you. I'll read you the Christmas story, okay? And this is how Christmas came about, and it's interesting because it explains where bulbs or Christmas bulbs or baubles come from. In Norse country, Christmas was born. It was actually called Yule at first, and in Norse country, they started the tradition by bringing evergreen trees indoors, and the trees were considered a reminder of life. And then they would light logs on fire like we do in our fireplaces, and the logs were meant for good fortune. So then in ancient Rome, they started to celebrate, and they started calling it Saturnalia, which was a feast of food and drink in honor of the god Saturn. That was the god of agriculture, right? So they also worshipped Mithra, which was the sun god. And it was believed that Mithra was born on December 25th. So the Romans considered this day the holiest day of the year. And in the first century AD, Christianity began to take hold. So since the Bible never really mentions the exact date that Christ was born, the Roman Empire decided to adopt Mithra's birthday, December 25th, as the day called the feast day of Nativity, which is, when Christ was born. So by 400 AD, they made this official. And so that's when we knew that Christ was born on December 15th. Although it was never recorded, they kind of just went off of Mithra's birthday, right? So this is when evergreens began to have apples hung on the branches, which eventually turned into Christmas bulbs. And they symbolize the Garden of Eden. That's what the apples were symbolizing. So yeah, that is the story of bulbs and where they came from. So and then from then, that is where the story of Santa Claus started. And that began in the 4th century, which was when a beloved Turkish bishop named Nicholas died, and the anniversary of his death became known as Saint Nicholas Day. So on December 6th, all the good children would receive gifts from Saint Nicholas from and then the bad children received nothing. And so the tradition spread worldwide. And in Holland, Saint Nicholas was actually known as Sinterklaas, right? So, and then carry on or flash forward to like 1500 years later, a seminary professor named Clement Clark Moore wrote a poem called The Night Before Christmas. And it was about a man named Santa Claus. So like Sinterklaas, but his name was Santa Claus. And this is the Santa that we know today. But no one really knew what he looked like. And then in 1863, because it was just a poem, right? So for, hundreds of years, well, over 300 years, people just went off of, knowing him, but not really knowing what Santa Claus looked like. So then in 1863, Thomas Nast, who was a cartoonist from Harper's Weekly, drew his version of Santa Claus, what he thought Santa Claus looked like. And of course, it was a chubby man with a white beard who, was pulled to each home by reindeer, and he brought gifts to the children via sliding down the chimney of each house. And this is how we know Santa today, right? Anyway, that is the story of Christmas. If you did not already know that, that is the story of Christmas. And yeah, I just thought it was really interesting that those apples were the beginning of what we know as the Christmas bulbs that we put on our trees now. Yeah, so anyways. I'm making lots and lots of bulbs in this design, in this nail collection of designs, and I just hope that you're really enjoying this and that you like it, maybe take something away from it, whether it be one of the designs that you see or the story that I tell. And I will try with each video that I put out to give you a little story maybe about myself. You've learned something about me today. You've also learned a little bit about Christmas because that's the theme, and I kind of want to do that. I did think that maybe I would do a YouTube video based on nail designs, but then tell stories of true crime, because that is a huge hot topic, and I am very into true crime, but I just thought that was a little heavy for something so beautiful, right? So I decided that instead I would just give you a little glimpse of me and who I am and where I've come from. You'll probably hear stories about my family and my upbringing and things like that while you're watching me do nails, and maybe some history stories. And so if that's something that intrigues you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I definitely need the followers. I am brand new, and I have a lot of designs to show you. Oh, did you see that? I'm not sure if you saw that, if you were watching, or if you're just listening, because I do that a lot. I'll listen to things, but I won't really watch every single screen. But yeah, my camera pretty much fell on me. It was stuck to my nail table, and yeah, it lost its sticky and just kind of like slid down, and luckily I caught it in time. I was like, no, 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 no. I definitely bleeped out that part. I was like, what? No, because you don't want to go 25 minutes into a video and then decide that the camera is not in its place. It falls and ruins your video. So I was like, oh no. Anyway. Oh my gosh, all these little things that come with getting used to filming all of the designs that I'm doing. Because mind you, I've been doing these designs for 20 years. And I'm just now starting to tape them. So definitely bear with me, please. I'm going to learn as I go. Oh my gosh. And see how it goes. I absolutely love that I can do this, though. I can share all of my designs with, the world, and I'd love to see if it inspires you. So if you can put, maybe if it's just a comment, great comment. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite Christmas colors are. Maybe give me some inspiration on what my next design should look like. Post pictures if this inspired you at all and you decided to do some Christmas baubles, or maybe even just hang some apples on your nails. That would be fun, right? And then that would be like a conversation piece. People would be like, oh, you have apples on your nails. Are you a teacher? And you might be a teacher, right? And you can show your other teacher friends. Or you can say, no, I was watching Lora Rolling on YouTube, and she told me the story of Christmas bulbs and how Santa came to be. Okay, so do tell me, did you already know that story? Because that is something that I just learned. I was watching, of course, YouTube. I believe it was the History Channel, and I'm pretty big on the History Channel. I love to learn about things like that. And yeah, and I just kind of ran into that story because, it's Christmas, so I'm sure it's like one of the top hits, right? So it just kind of popped up, and I was like fascinated by it. So I hope that you are too. Okay, so you notice on this nail, when I was making this bow, it started out as pink, right? And I didn't like that because it had the red dots, so I turned it red. Yeah, so this is what we ended up with, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. Now we're going to put the top coats on, and what I did with these top coats is actually just a little different. I used the matte on the top of this pinky nail, and then I put the shiny top coat on the bottom where the snow flurry or the snowflake is. And I kind of kept that theme going throughout the set. The abstract nail, I made the abstract part, the swirls, I made that matte. And then I made the rest, where all the silver is, I made the rest of that